Hey, good morning to you. We are in a wine cellar going through the Book of Enoch. It's incredibly important you go through the Book of Enoch because the Book of Enoch is the only example of what we have of what it'll be like in the days of Noah, as far as a great description of what it'll be like. And as we have gone through this book, we've seen it's very much like it is today, just like Jesus said it would be. And I'm not suggesting that the Book of Enoch should be in the Bible, and I'm not suggesting that it shouldn't be in the Bible. What I do know is that it is quoted in the book of Jude. Jude even refers to it as from the prophet Enoch. Jesus references Enoch. Enoch obviously had a biblical role to play in Genesis, and it's important we go through it, I believe. At the very least, if Jesus told you that in the end times it would be like the days of Noah, and you actually had a book that was written by somebody there and said, here's what it was like, it's good to go through. So we're at this place of Enoch where he has been taken up by 7 angels in the spirit to the heavenly realm, where he sees the workshop of God. He sees the prisons that God has made for fallen angels. He sees so many beautiful things that just have not seen with human eyes. And then he's introduced to these angels, one by one, and we get to this place where each one of them is in charge of something. And we're kind of at that place where we're going to be talking about Raguel, who is in charge of the place, the luminaries. And we're going to talk about that today as far as vengeance and justice over those things that have fallen. So we're going to pick it up where we left off in chapter 23, starting verse 1. From thence I went to another place to the west of the ends of the earth, and I saw a burning fire, which ran without resting and paused not from its course day or night, but ran regularly. And I asked, saying, what is this which rests not? Then Raguel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and said unto me, this course of fire which thou hast seen is the fire in the west, which persecutes all the luminaries of heaven. All right, I'm going to pause there because what we've seen is after the introduction of these 7 angels, as he sees new things, it's a different angel showing him a different thing. And at this point, it's Raguel. So I want to go back to the introduction of Raguel, where we see in chapter 20, verse 1, it says, and these are the names of the holy angels who watch. Uriel, one of the holy angels who is over the world and over Tartarus. Raphael, one of the holy angels who's over the spirits of men. Raguel, one of the holy angels who takes vengeance on the world of the luminaries. Now, I think this is incredibly fascinating because if you look at what these different angels are doing, so for example, Uriel, one of the angels who's over the world and over Tartarus, so he is over like the bottomless pit. So when you see in Revelation a mighty angel with a key to the bottomless pit, this would be Uriel. And now what we're looking at is the angel of the world of the luminaries has a few things, and we're going to kind of talk about what this place is that he's seeing. And really this idea that when you see in Revelation that a mighty angel takes a rock and throws it at the earth, this would be Raguel doing these things. So we're going to kind of jump around a little bit because it's important to understand, well, how does Babylon get destroyed? What's up with the blood moons? How does all these things, as you look up into the sky, how are all these things playing out? And it all comes down to Raguel, the mighty angel. So we're going to go to Isaiah. We only use Enoch or the Bible as a reference in this series. So we're going to go to Isaiah real quick, where Isaiah is talking about the impending judgment on the earth. And it says this, starting in verse 21. It shall come to pass in that day that the Lord will punish on high the hosts of exalted ones, and on the earth the kings of the earth. They will be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit, and will be shut up in the prison. After many days they will be punished. Then the moon will be disgraced and the sun ashamed. For the Lord of hosts will reign on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem before his elders gloriously. Now this is incredibly fascinating because it actually involves Uriel and Raguel both, because what he's saying is these fallen angels and the wicked men on the earth, the spirits of men, when there's this prison for them, in this bottomless pit, that they just are in a pit of darkness until the day of judgment, that final day of judgment, where all the things that have gone wrong in the universe will finally be brought to justice, and there's this place for them. And it is hell, is what this is that we're looking at. If we go back to Enoch 18, where it says in 13, I saw there 7 stars like great burning mountains, and to me, when I inquired about them, the angel said, this place is the end of heaven and earth. This has become a prison for the stars and the hosts of heaven. So what you have is, you have ultimately on this earth, you have 7 principalities of wickedness, Satan being that center mountain, and 6 others, like the prince of Persia, the prince of, these are principalities of wickedness. There's 7 of them. And like in the book of Revelation, where it talks about the beast, and it says the 7 heads, these are 7 mountains. Whoever has wisdom, let them understand. And people will go, oh, that must be Rome because there's 7 mountains in Rome. No. No, these are 7 principalities of wickedness, and there's justice that is playing out on them. And Raguel is showing Enoch, this is this place of justice. This place where these luminaries have fallen, and there's got to be a place of eternal justice for them. From thence I went to another place, to the west of the ends of the earth, and I saw a burning fire, which ran without resting and paused not from its course day or night, but ran regularly. And I asked, saying, what is this which rests not? Then Raguel, one of the holy angels who was with me, answered me and said unto me, this course of fire which thou hast seen is the fire in the west, which persecutes all the luminaries of heaven. So it's important to understand, what are these places that we're looking at here in Enoch, because it helps us better understand the reality of how it plays out in the end times.